Right, I'm back. It's been a while. All right, so on this video is about what I have the best accessories for my Q43. These would also work for Q3. Now the one thing for me is I basically just shoot events. So when I go out to take pictures, it's at an event. So I just go ready to shoot. I know some people go wandering around the streets and maybe they have their camera in a bag and they take it out. I get that, but that's not me. I'm not walking around with a bag. I'm just walking around with my camera in my hand, ready to shoot. So there's a difference. I want my camera set up, ready to go the exact same way for everything I do, whether it's in the daytime, nighttime. You know, I was at, whether I'm in a bar, I'm shooting cars outside. I just want it set up one way, then it's ready to go. So I'll take you through everything I got on here. Hopefully I can do it in one take. If not, I'll do an edit. So let's start off from the very beginning is, like I'm saying, I have this old Canon bag here, which I like for the Leica. First of all, it says Canon. Plus, who's gonna steal it? No one. Who wants a Canon? The one reason I like this bag is because it opens from the top. And when the Q43 sits in, it sits in like this. Okay, so I like how this is. Okay, I don't like it sitting bottom. I don't like it sideways. So if anyone knows of a newer bag that's small, where a Q43, basically will fit in, let me know. I've had this thing for years. And the thing is, I don't walk around with this. This is only to store my camera in the house, or this goes with me in the car. And then once I go to an event, I take it out and the bag stays in the car. But a couple times if I'm at, certain car events, the camera may be on my seat with this open and I can grab it really easily and shoot. So I just like it this way. Don't ask me why. So if you know of a small bag that's newer, that the camera will sit this way, let me know. So that's my bag. It also is nice, it got this, I got a little front pouch. This is what's great about the Q systems. This is my whole camera setup. Because I got rid of my Q3, the 28. I sold that to a very nice gentleman. So this is all I got now. Okay, so when I go to an event, once I get to the event, take the camera out. Now, this doesn't go with me, but this is I wrote this down somewhere on a piece of paper. Thumbs up, but what is it? Match Technical, I believe, is the name of the company. This is the rubber grip. This is 50 bucks. Is it worth 50 bucks? No. 25 bucks? 30 bucks maybe. But it's cool. It fits on really nice. Whether you have a Q3 or Q43. Now I know the Q2s, they came out with these probably for the Q2s, because remember, if you ever had a Q2, they had issues in the beginning with the lens not fitting right. Yeah, I'm outside, so if you hear a dog barking or siren or something. The nice thing though, if you do use a Leica cap, two things. One is, if it ever falls, it's a metal cap. Even the new ones fit really tight, they're nice, but if you dent the cap, scratch the cap, later you want to go sell it, people complain about that. The other thing, if you use the cap all the time, which I don't, but it's a metal cap. So let's say you shoot weddings or something, you're in the church and you drop that cap, that's gonna make some noise. This is a rubber cap. What's nice about this is, see how the hood is in there? This will seal it completely. So you don't have to worry about any dust getting in through the slots here. And it comes with a little rubber, or not rubber, but like a little cord that it'll attach here in case you want to have the cap on all the time. I don't. This is, once it gets home, cap goes on. So yeah, like I say, if it was 25 bucks or 30 bucks, 50 bucks, kind of a little overpriced. But once again, you drop this thing, it's rubber. So, in the long run, it's worth it. I bought it because the Q43 lens hood, before the whole filter issue, that cap is really tight on here. I almost felt like it was almost too tight. I mean, it's really nice. So it's like, I want something that pops off easier. A couple times when I popped off the cap, I dropped it, but luckily it was on carpet. So that's the whole reason I went and got ordered this one. And then once again, we had the whole filter issue. So then I swapped out to a different hood, but it actually works good. So a little overpriced, but it's actually nice. I mean, yeah, small business too. So the cap I use for the camera is, I want to say it's Match Technical, thumbs up, this rubber cap. Once again, it comes with this little little red nylon thing you can hook onto here. I think it's like a nylon cord. Anyways, so there you go. So that's the cap. So let's start off. Number one, if you notice, this is a Q43, but this is a Q3 lens hood. It's a knockoff. It's a Haoge. Is that it? Remember, if you watch my other videos, I talk about it. This is great. This was $35. $35. If you've got a Q3 28, you should buy one of these. It's exactly the same. Put your Leica one away so it doesn't get scratched, doesn't get all chipped up. Buy this one. It's got to be the same thing. Look at my other videos when I talk about this. So if you notice, you're like, how do you have a Q43 lens hood on a how do you have a Q3 lens hood on a Q43? Look at my other videos, and I found a way for that to work. Really quickly, once again, there's a little tiny piece of blue painter's tape on the threads right here. So that gives it enough tension to where this will, see, look, it's not wiggling and it's lined up correctly. I hate those round Leica, even the knockoffs, the round ones, those, I can't stand those things. Plus they're not as good protection. I need as much protection as possible. So with this Q3 lens hood, I can use a standard full-size UV filter. Now once again, I don't want to get into arguments whether UV filter, I need a UV filter for protection. I'm in bars, nightclubs, I'm at car events, stuff's flying around. I can be at a drifting event where the car drifts in front of you. And if you've ever been at a drifting event and you shoot close, it's really fun. But you gotta imagine the tires are spinning, so rubber, little tiny pieces of rubber are flying all over the place. Like if you're at the track and you're like this, where the opening is, you'll get rubber, like little pieces of rubber all over you. It's really fun. So that's why I want my lens protected all the time. I'm at a lowrider event, there's a hop competition, cars are hopping. Car will slam down, bumper will hit, psh, little pieces go flying everywhere. If I'm at the front shooting that, I got to worry about little fragments of the bumper of the car flying, so I want to protect the front of this $7,000 lens. You got to remember, it's a Leica, it's built in. Whether this is the Q3 or the 28 or the 43, you damage this lens, you got to send the entire thing to Leica. You ain't getting this camera back for probably a year till they fix it. That's why I need as much protection as possible on this camera, because I shoot events. You know, I'll be in bar events, you know, people be having fun, liquor will be flying around, I'll shoot burlesque shows or pole shows. I just have to worry about protecting the front of this camera. So that's why I needed to figure out a way to get this lens hood to work, which I did, and I have my UV filter. So I use a Haoge, I think it's Haoge, right? Haoge, their knockoff $35 Q3 lens hood on the Q43. Then I have for a UV filter, I use the Breakthrough Photography UV, the X4. This filter is great. You can't even tell it's on. And the best thing, this thing cleans better than any B+W one I've used, any Tiffin, any of those other ones. I've used those, they're really nice ones, and they've cleaned and they still be a little bit of a smear and it takes a while to get them clean. This thing wipes off very easily. So that's why I use the Breakthrough Technology UV X4, standard size filter. I got the lens hood here. Okay, now on the bottom, I have mine, and I love this SmallRig hand grip. Hell, the depth of this is so nice. I lucked out and got it for 80 bucks. It was on sale. They're $100, totally worth $100. If they were to make a new one with the gray and maybe the outer is black, I may just spend 100 bucks so it would match, but I don't need, this is nice. And what's also great is look at the bottom, it's lipped. So when you set it down, you know, it's balanced nice. I have a Q2 monochrome grip, which I'm keeping because I was like, oh, in case I don't want this, it's a little bit heavier than that. I put the other one on. I can't go back to anything else other than this. So I'm going to end up selling my Q2 monochrome grip. And the other thing is great is look at the bottom, full access to the battery or the card. The card not too bad, but the battery, these batteries are great, but I go to an event, I'll shoot like 1,000 photos, over 1,000 photos, you know, depending on how long I'm at an event. If I'm doing a performance, a burlesque performance, and there's 2 shows, and there's like 5 or 6 performers, yeah, I'll easily shoot about 1,000 photos sometimes. And I'm not high-speed shooting, I'll just shoot a lot of photos for each performer. Dogs are running around. That's what's great is, you know, I can pop the battery in and out so quick, and have access to this. The Leica one, you have to spin off to pull the grip off, put it back on to get either the card or the battery. So the SmallRig is worth the money, completely worth the $100. Now, my other newest addition was Artisan and Artist. The nylon grip, this is nice. This was 100 bucks, I think, 120, but I had 10% off, so I got it for 100 bucks. This is nice. This is so nice. This was completely worth the money. Look at the cord right here, no worries about that. I'll do another one showing you the Gordy. I used to use Gordy wrist straps that had the leather. They were nice. They were like 30 bucks. You can get them different colors and that. I would use that probably if I didn't have this, but needing this because of the bar here, this was totally worth the money. When someone asked me for a link the last time I posted about this, I went to the website and they were actually sold out. So I don't know if my video I made about this last time helped them sell some more. If it did, and you're watching this, send me a t-shirt. This is great. This is totally worth, this is so comfortable. And it's very sure. I have no worries about this at all. And it looks nice. Look how clean that is, you know? The great thing about the Q system is, this is it, man. My camera's done. I don't have to worry about buying anything else. That's it. That's why I like the Q system. No more, oh, a new lens came out or whatever. This is it. So there you go. So this is my setup I take with me everywhere. Oh, also, I always bring along an extra battery no matter what. Even though these batteries are great, I still take one all the time. So for my extra battery, let me take this out. So I use this little think tank battery holder, which is great because in the back you can actually put another card in here. So I always have, I'll go over the cards I use, but see, here's my Leica battery, slots in here, that goes in my pocket, got an extra card. So that's it. When I go shoot events, this is all I have. I have this, and this is in my pocket. You know, I'm not walking around with a camera bag and a bunch of junk, you know. I shoot events, some of them are more adult events. So you don't want to be walking around with a big camera bag and a bunch of extra junk because you look like camera guy, you know, and it'll make people uncomfortable. With this, people are way more comfortable. When I have to use a flash, I'll show you the flash I use. I use a Godox in manual mode, but it's still not too big. You know, it's not like a big Canon setup or Nikon setup or, you know, Sony setup. I used to shoot Sony. I had a, you know, R3 and an R4 with a bigger flash, and the one flash they make is great because you can spin the camera and spin the flash. You know, that one, what's it called, like the Cobra head, you turn it, but it's big. People are way more comfortable with this as opposed to a bigger setup. So for some of the things I shoot, it's just nicer. I'm walking around with something small like this. But this is it. This is the setup that I use for all my events, the exact setup. Whether it's daytime, nighttime, you ever see me out shooting, this is it. The camera's done, and so this is what I take. This is it. This is my event setup. If I have to take 2 batteries, let's say it's a daytime, nighttime event, I just want to be extra careful, I have another one of these I'll show you from Think Tank, and it lets you hold 2 batteries. The only problem is it doesn't have a card slot. So, you know, I still think this one's better. This is great. I forget how much this was at Think Tank, but you should get one. This is really nice. So the battery's not floating in your pocket by itself. Oh yeah, for cards. So for cards, what I use, I've always used these cards. Never had any problems with any, whether my Q2 monochrome, Q3 28, Q3 43. I've never had any problems with any card issues because I always use SanDisk Extreme Pro, the XD2s, and this is a 256 card. Since these are 60 meg files now, and I may shoot like in an event, I may shoot like 1,000 photos one night or something, I've got to have it. So this will get me almost 2,000 shots. I only shoot DNG, full res DNG. At least 1,800. I want to say 2,000 maybe. It might just be a hair under 2,000. So I always have a backup with me in here. There's a 256 in here. Or if I go here for the weekend, you know, I want to have enough shots if I'm going to an event. So I've got 2 of these, and I got a couple of 128s. When I had the when I had the R3, I think that was 40 meg. Or when I had the Q2 monochrome, those are 40, so that's when I had the 128s. But once I got the 60 meg, I had to go to the 256s. Like I'm saying, because I can shoot, if I'm doing a burlesque show or a pole show, there's this one show I shoot, there may be 8 performers, 8 to 10 performers. So, you know, they go out and perform, I got to get shots for every performer. So, and plus a bunch of other stuff. So this way, never had to worry. Never had any problems with those cards. But that's my setup, my accessory setup. That's why I love this Q system. It's so simple. Of course, I mean, the pictures look fabulous. I really like this 43, this APL lens. For me, it works way better than 28, but this is my setup. So that's it. Isn't that great? This is the whole setup that I take with me, unless I need a flash. Oh, the little, what do you call it? Up here, this is from probably JJC. Just to, you know, I think it helps me. This one's concaved in. I think I like that a little bit more. But there you go. I don't think I'll put links. You guys know where to find all this stuff. But if you have any questions, but yeah, this for me, this is great. So these are the best accessories. Oh, also, let me show you some other stuff. Of course, a rocket blower. This is in the house. I always have. Sometimes it comes, but I have a little mini one that I got free from God knows what I bought. But always take one of these with you. If I do sometimes, instead of a flash, if I'm doing a model shoot sometimes, and we're indoors in a small area, instead of using a flash sometimes, I like using, not even a whole setup. Like I'll do shoots that are more like an event style where you're outdoors, that you're not bringing a whole setup. You know, it's more run and gun. Everything I do is mostly run and gun. So I got to keep my stuff small and compact. So I like this. This is the Aperture MC Pro. I had the other small, the Aperture MCs. The Pro is a lot nicer. The controls are easier to use, and the way more powerful. So I like using light more than the flash. If I can have a steady light on stuff. I'm still messing around getting used to this, but what's great is changing colors on this and just putting it in the background or behind something, just to add a little different color light behind, you know, behind a model or something. A couple times I'll bring it to a car show and I change it different colors, and I'll put it behind a wheel. So I'm shooting the wheel, and then behind it I'll change that to red or blue just to give a little accent behind it. Not too much anymore, but I used to once in a while. Like I say, I don't like carrying bags and stuff. I just like walking around with my camera. Like in December, there's a show coming up called Moon Eyes at Irwindale Raceway, which is the last time they're going to have there because the Raceway's closing down. I'll just be walking. I'll be there all day long, so I'll just be walking around with this. That's what makes this system so nice. But yeah, that's my little accessory setup. Simple, basic, but works for me. That's it. Later.